Does your BMW F30 taillight lens look like this in the boot or the trunk? If so, I'm going to show you how to fix that. It's a common problem on these BMW 3 Series from this era. So you'll find that the trunk or boot light lens pops out like this and gets progressively worse over time. It is a manufacturing flaw in the light lens clip itself, but thankfully it's easy to replace. Here is the other side for reference to see how it should look. If your lens has been popped out like that for a while, rainwater has more than likely gotten in there and damaged some of the components for the rear lights. That causes intermittent warnings on the car's computer system saying that your reversing light bulb is malfunctioning when the bulb is actually working. So today I've opted to actually do 2 repairs here at once. One to fix the broken light lens, I'll show you that. And secondly, I'm also swapping out the bulb holder circuit board in behind the lens itself. It's a cheap part costing only €43. The first thing to do is to remove the inner liner from the trunk or from the boot of the car. It is attached by these small plastic Phillips head screws. I'm pointing them out here in the video. Don't forget these 2 hidden ones recessed into the trunk. And don't forget these torque screws underneath these plastic clips. So for these plastic screws, you need to use a Phillips head screwdriver. The methodology really here is just to lightly push the screwdriver in and very lightly turn out. It's not like a steel screw where you have to press in. If you press in, you will damage these. So I found the best way is to just put in the screwdriver and screw to the left. And as you can see, once you get into the knack of it, you can make short work of it. Sometimes just screwing them out partially is enough that you can get your fingers in around them and simply pull out with a bit of force. Don't worry, you won't break them, they'll just pop straight out. The next thing we want to do is remove the trunk arm protectors. There's one on each side. So you can just use the flathead screwdriver to prise off those clips, and simply you just push down and pull out towards you. As shown here, the trim just pops off. At this point now, I'm removing those torque screws. If you don't have a torque set handy, sometimes an Allen key is good to open these guys up. Again, I'm just removing the plastic arm protector for the boot or the trunk on the other side. Same process as the other side. Now you should have a very loose boot trim like this. I didn't feel the need to take it off entirely. You'll also note at this point it is easy to pop out the light lens. But before we do that, we need to loosen this 10mm bolt, as I've done here. That allows us to remove the lens entirely. Next, I had to remove the bulb holder from the lens itself. To do that, I push down on this clip here and simply pull the circuit board away. So this is what I mean by circuit board. It's kind of a bulb holder and circuit board all in one. This rust on mine was causing connection issues. I was getting warnings for blown bulbs on the dash of the car when the bulbs are actually fine. You'll also notice this connector here is quite corroded, so that could be causing my intermittent connection issues on the light too. So I'm actually just using some carb cleaner. It's fine for electronics. If you have electrical cleaner, it is also fine to use for this purpose. So with all of that done, with your lens popped out, you should have something that looks like this. The arrow that I'm showing here is actually where the clip has broken on mine. This is very common on the BMW F30 and F80. This clip here just breaks entirely. So when that little clip breaks, the lens essentially no longer clips into the body of the car. And as shown at the start of the video, this lens will simply just keep popping out every time you close the boot or the trunk. Thankfully, the fix for this is quite easy and it is quite thorough too. So my plan involves these holes in the left side of the lens. What I do is I take a zip tie and I loop it around this side through the first 2 little notches, let it hang down like so, and then what I do is actually drill a hole in the chassis of the car, and then I loop that zip tie through it and tighten it as tight as I can, and that works perfectly. So I put a hole into the chassis here using a 3mm drill bit, and I'll show you exactly where I drilled.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
So as you reinstall, you just sit that light lens in, and once you're happy with that position, tighten your zip tie as tight as you can, and that effectively does the same job as that little broken clip was doing. I use a small zip tie for this. You're looking for one ideally that's quite narrow, but still is quite long. If you wanted to, you could also replace the light lens, but the OEM BMW version of that lens is about $200. But why do that when you can reuse your perfectly good taillight lens still? That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do like and subscribe. Take care. Bye bye.